Okay. Okay, what you guys are going to learn now, and this is muy fácil, promise, is this part. This is what we're looking at. What is the direct object in a sentence? Is the word that that receives the action, okay? I'm recording, so, okay, aquí. Okay, so, es what receives the action. Por ejemplo, Aspen, if you are looking at the board here, right? What receives the action?
The board.
What are you looking at, right? So that's the question. So but not all the sentences will have a direct object. It depends. But if you ask what I'm looking at, that's the question that you have to ask to know if you have a direct object. In English, it will be, well, it's the same, but what we are learning is how we're going to avoid repetition by using the pronouns. The pronouns for the direct objects are me, te, lo, and la. Why do we have lo and la? Why do we have lo and la?
One for boy, one for girl.
Yes, because we are talking about things that receive the action that have gender, right? If I'm talking about el pizarrón, what would I have to use? Lo or la? I will have to use lo because el pizarrón is masculino. If I'm using la regla, I will have to use la. Now I'm going to tell you what is this because it's confusing. So we have nos, los, and las. So this is what we're going to be using. Okay? So, if I say, I eat the apple, because the apple is really good. Oh, I buy the apples in Walmart. Oh, and the apples, like I buy the apples really cheap, right? So, we know that I'm talking about the apples, right? What do I buy? The apples. That's your direct object, the one that receives the action. See? Okay, now, if I want to avoid repetition, Luis, you have a question?
No.
Okay, if I want to avoid repetition, what would I say in English? Like I buy the apple, I like the apple, like I pay for the apple $3. What do I do to avoid repetition? I buy it, right? So since we know that I'm talking about the apple, I don't have to repeat apple, apple, apple because I know that I'm talking about that. So I am going to replace apple for one of these. What will be? La, because apple, manzana is femenino. Now, if I say yo compro la manzana, and I already know that I'm using la manzana. What is my direct object? I'm going to ask, what do I buy? La manzana. This is my manzana. Okay. This is my direct object. Now, I am going to use a direct object pronoun. These are the pronouns. Direct object pronouns, and I am going to pronouns. I am going to use my direct object pronouns instead on repeating manzana, manzana, manzana all the time. What do I do? What is the rule for, if you look at your notes, las notas, you have the rule here to place the pronoun. And it's the same that we know. what is the same pronoun that we have for the reflexive verbs or the reflexive pronouns? What is the rule? Before the verb, and this is here, okay? Rules to place the direct object pronouns, same as reflexives. They go before the verb or attached to infinitive. Remember what is an infinitive verb?
A verb without conjugation.
Yes, the verb that is not conjugated. So, I'm going to say, yo, what? I am going to replace this with la. Where am I going to put la? What is the rule? I just repeat the rule. I just said the rule. Before the conjugated verb or attached to infinitive. Do I have yo la compro? And when I say yo la compro, obviously you have to be talking before about the whatever you're talking about to be able to say yo la compro. You cannot just come out of the blue and say, oh, yo la compro. What do you buy? La manzana, right? So this is if you have a sentence and you're saying like, I like the apple is red, and then you want to say this, yo la compro en Walmart. Okay? So you don't have to repeat manzana, manzana, manzana. See? That's the reason why we use direct object pronouns to avoid repetition. See? Why do we use this? To avoid repetition. Okay? So then I can say yo la compro y la como en el desayuno. Okay? So I'm talking about the same thing. Okay? Okay. You want to give me an example? What you want to talk about? Just give me an item that you want to talk about. One of the food. Give me one of the food since we have. What is? Huevos. Okay, huevos. Now, if I say, what can we say about huevos? Okay, like los huevos son what?
Expensive.
¿Cómo se dice expensive? We have that in our vocabulario. What is? Caros. Los huevos son caros. We're talking about more than one and they are masculine. I'm gonna say that I use them, right? And I'm notice that I'm not saying I use the eggs because I already know what I'm talking about, right? So I use them to cook my breakfast. Okay, what am I gonna say? What is yo los uso en mi almuerzo? So how am I going to conjugate this? How am I going to translate this? So the eggs are expensive. I use them. See? So it's going to be backwards. I use them. What? In my lunch. Okay. I am going to do backwards. I am going to tell you, Liam, I am going to tell you one item, and you're going to guess what I'm talking about. See? Okay. So we're doing this. Okay? Okay. So if I say, yo las necesito, no. Yo lo necesito para mi ensalada.
Do you have to guess what you need?
Tell me, guess what is this, what I need for my salad? No, no.
Some type of sauce.
Okay, first you have to look how many are here.
It's one.
One.
Only one, right? And what is gonna be, masculine or feminine? Masculino, right? Okay, I can be talking about pollo, right? So my sentence would be yo, what? Instead on here, what would be my sentence initially?
Yo necesito, would it not be yo necesito pollo?
Yo necesito el pollo, right? For my salad. But I'm not repeating because we already are talking about el pollo. Then I'm going to say yo, oh sí, yo lo necesito para mi ensalada. Okay? ¿Sí? ¿Más o menos? Okay, Kiara, how would you translate this?
I need chicken for
No. This.
I need it for my so
I need it. Please notice that it's backwards than English. Okay? Remember that. What is the rule to place the direct object? Pronoun? The pronoun? What is the rule to place the pronoun? What?
before the verb.
Before the verb. Now, if I have two verbs, if I say, yo voy a necesitar, el pollo. I have two verbs. Voy a necesitar. What do I do?
Conjugate the first one and then attach
Well,
the
what is the direct object?
Yo lo voy a
oh,
necesitar.
pollo.
Sí, I'm going to replace this. Yo lo voy a necesitar. Or, what is the other option? King?
Yo voy a
What is the other option?
necesitarlo. No, voy.
You have to be-
Yo voy a necesitarlo. Either one is exactly what we did with the reflexive pronouns. Okay? Now we're talking about a different thing. You need to stop. We are going to. I don't know who is. We are going to replace a word, and that's why we're using these pronouns. Okay? The reason why we're using them is a different reason. See? Please. I don't know.
What is
I don't
this?
know.
What?
Okay, any questions? Any questions? Okay. You guys are going